trade war between Canada and the United States causing economic uncertainty. Canadian leaders are looking to Asia and Europe for reliable trade partners. Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister and Industry Minister have both spoken recently about the importance of building trade partnerships outside the United States. CTV National News reporter Colton Praill joins us now for more on this. So, Colton, how do those ministers' remarks fit in with Canada's overall plan to pivot away from the United States and look for something more stable?
Well, Kent, it's something that we've been seeing slowly happening so far. It's a big shift moving from a north-south supply chain to an east-west supply chain. That happens inside the country, and it's true outside of the country. And so last week when we saw the Foreign Minister Anita Anand in Malaysia talking about revisiting our Indo-Pacific strategy, adding a more economic focus to that strategy, you are starting to see some of these numbers bear out in merchandise export data. But it's still a big gulf between what's going overseas and what's going to the United States. So take a look at the most recent data, and it points to the month of May. And what we see is a 5% increase in merchandise exports to other countries than the United States. We see the largest amount of exports to countries who are not the United States as far as raw dollars go since at least 2021, but possibly going back even further. That's just when the Stats Canada data cuts off. What's interesting, though, is that amount is just $19 billion. And you compare that to the $41 billion that went to the United States in the same month, which was actually down 25% from January. And suddenly you start to see the issue that even as Canada is increasing its exports to countries like Singapore, the UK, and Italy, it is still very reliant on the United States. In January, we saw a peak of almost $60 billion worth of merchandise going across the border. Now, part of that was because tariffs were coming. Investors, businesses were aware of that. There was some stockpiling going on. But we're still talking about a massive gulf of about $30 billion on average between our exports to the U.S. and our exports to the entire rest of the world. And so while we are seeing some progress when it comes to deals with the EU, when it comes to deals with the Indo-Pacific region, India in particular as well, there is still a long way to go to make up for the lost dollars that we're seeing as a result of the tariff impasse in between Canada and the U.S.
Now, politically, Canada and India have had a strained relationship. How is that going to affect this pursuit here?
This is a big part of the challenge because you can't have an Indo-Pacific strategy without India. They are the fifth biggest economy in the world. They are the fastest growing economy in the world. I don't have to tell you, Western provinces really rely on India, especially pulse and crop growers. They are the largest pulse market in the world. This is an important trading partner for Canada, certainly for provinces like Alberta and Saskatchewan when it comes to growing those pulses. And so it's a very challenging thing to do. We are seeing progress on it. Obviously, if you think back to Banff a couple of weeks ago, Narendra Modi was there. He met with the Prime Minister. They spoke about restarting relationships. Both described it as a good meeting. They agreed to bring back their diplomatic representatives in each country, a High Commissioner for Canada in India and for India in Canada. So far, that hasn't happened yet. The Foreign Minister says the timeline on that is steady but not immediate. Either way, it is still movement forward from where we were a couple of years ago when Justin Trudeau stood up in the House of Commons and blamed Indian officials for their hand in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. And so there has been some progress here. It will be a difficult road diplomatically in Canada to justify with this investigation still ongoing, but they are a very important economic partner on the global stage. And so there is still going to be progress here. It just might not happen as quickly as, say, deals with the European Union or with the UK or with Singapore or with other countries where there is a little less murky diplomatic waters to walk through.
Okay. Colton, thank you.